120 kilometers an hour, 130 kilometers an hour.
For many drivers, it's called the express toll route for a reason.
My average speed is over 120.
Don't see that.
I
You're gonna get in trouble.
I usually slow down when I see the cops. I know where they're sitting all the time waiting for us.
I think the standard on the 407 is usually about 130 to 140 kilometers per hour.
120 and 130 are posted in over 60 jurisdictions around the world. So those speeds have been globally recognized as safe.
It's an argument gaining speed in Ontario. It's the time the province hit the gas and explored raising the speed limit on Highway 407.
So here we are on the Warden Bridge over top of the 407. We've got our radar gun ready for a little speed test. 132 kilometers an hour, 129 kilometers an hour, 136 kilometers an hour.
There's an unmistakable need for speed on the wide open 407. We clock drivers at an average of 120 to 130 kilometers. Now the OPP don't want to see speeding, period, but they do say the 407 is one of the safest highways. Of the 772 crashes on the toll road in 2014, more than 80% were minor, but there were 2 fatalities and they were speed related.
Highway 407 is a true engineering marvel. There's no reason why it couldn't be posted at 120, 130 kilometers an hour.
Chris Klimek, founder of Stop100.ca, has a petition with close to 40,000 names, all from drivers who want to see the speed limit increased on Ontario's 400 series highways. Klimek thinks the 407 is the perfect starting line.
130 is much more appropriate for 407. Much longer ramps compared to many other highways, much better snow removal, maintenance in the summer, and much longer sight lines so the drivers can actually see much further.
But the president of the Ontario Safety League is firmly against raising the limit.
The faster you're going, the shorter the stopping distance, the greater kinetic energy, more people would be injured and or killed.
But it's a change that isn't so foreign. Utah's Department of Transportation recently raised the legal speed along parts of its interstates to the equivalent of about 130 kilometers an hour. On Highway 130 in Texas, it's 140 clicks. And traffic studies have shown that more than 85% of drivers actually drive below that limit.
You can always find a less safe jurisdiction. At the end of the day, speed is always a factor in some of the major high-risk collisions that we see.
We reached out to the provincial transportation minister, Stephen Del Duca. He issued this statement saying, "We're very fortunate in this province to have among the safest roads in North America. I think it's of paramount importance that we do what we need to do to keep them that way. We have no plans to raise the speed limits at this time." It's a stance Klimek actually believes could be endangering drivers.
If you have a low speed limit, one car is doing 100, the other car is doing 130, that's where the dangerous situations come from, not from an absolute speed of the traffic moving at 120, 130 in a uniform fashion.
Now, Chris Klimek believes the 407 would actually be the perfect place for the ministry and the OPP to do some trial runs and see how drivers would respond to an increase in speed limits. His organization, Stop100.ca, is also planning a big advertising push this spring. On Warden at the 407, Adrian Gabriel, City News.